All right, final video of this truck. I do got a swap coming probably in a week or two. The C10 is done on my end. Unfortunately, it's not running and driving under its own power. The computer, we got it tuned day before yesterday, or yesterday, something like that. And it's still not running right. It idles okay, but as soon as you give it throttle, it just falls flat on its face and dies. So it's definitely a tuning issue because I've double checked vacuum leaks, everything, anything you could think of, sensors. I took apart my CUDA to swap out throttle body sensors, swap out mass airflow sensor. It's not throwing any codes, so it definitely has to be a tuning issue, which sucks because he already paid $300 for that tune. So probably gonna end up another $300. Also, kind of another reason why I'm a carb guy on the LS. You just tune it with flat tip, a hell of a lot cheaper. But let me go over, make this video fairly quick so that I can get it over with. I just came back from the gym and it's a million degrees out here, so might as well just stay sweaty and do this video for you real quick just to show you how it kind of all went together, what I like and what I don't like. So I wasn't able to finish the throttle cable bracket. I got it hooked up to the gas pedal and everything. I just use a washer to hold it in place. It doesn't have to be all pretty unless you want it to be. I'm sure there's a company that makes something for that, but I just took a washer, made the hole bigger so that these slide through it, and then just tighten it up. And that's what I did on my CUDA too, and my last swap. But yeah, just missing the bracket. It goes right here to run to the throttle. Not a fan of these spark plugs, like I told y'all from the first video. Straight plugs, not good for aftermarket headers. You can see that one sitting on it. Sitting on it. The wrapped headers obviously will help, but you don't want the spark plugs sitting on it. I've told him about it. Sitting on it, not sitting on it, basically sitting on it. Oh yeah, my wrap is all kinds of messed up thanks to these headers being an absolute pain to get in. I'm not 100% sure these are the correct headers for these swaps or for these truck gears. The guy said that his nephew sent him the link to order the parts as far as these headers and spark plug wires. And these headers, they're just super tight. I mean, that right there, as you can see, messed up. The wrap, this was the hardest side. As you can tell, it's just all up against the frame. It took me about 2 hours just to get this side in, raising the engine, doing absolutely every trick in the book, and I finally got it. Let me show you on the bottom side what. Oh, that cement's about to be hot. Oh, let's grab something real quick. I don't mind the heat, but we don't have to lay in it. It's probably ain't gonna be much better. Also, with these headers that I didn't like, and what makes me think that they're not correct for this swap is, might be cool on this. So right here, had to, oh, where am I? Sorry, I got a message and it blocked my screen. Right here, I had to kind of drill. I drilled like 3 holes because I didn't want to take, I basically drilled it like that, kind of sort of the knockoff Wish version of that hole. I didn't want to take my angle grinder with a cutoff wheel and just cut a big chunk out of that, but you have to cut that hole Oh, I don't know if I can get it. You can kind of see the O2 sensor in there. You have to do that because it doesn't. Let's see if I can. I don't know if I'm looking at it. I need to jack the truck up. But the O2 sensor basically sits right up against the frame edge, and you can't get the O2 sensor in unless you do this like relief hole to stick the back of the sensor through first and then be able to screw it in. So I wasn't a fan of that. This exhaust that was made specifically for this truck, of course, didn't fit, which also makes me think that those headers aren't correct. I threw away the box, so I can't look at the part number again. I just mounted the ECU and stuff right there. I'm trying to think. So the factory power steering pump line for the LS motor bolted right up to the factory gearbox for this truck. Just bend it just a slight bit here. Not the prettiest, but it works. Oh, what else? I know I was going over this last night. So this stock radiator hose fit perfectly. This is the stock 99 to 06 hose. The lower hose fit perfectly. Let's see if I can. Yeah, there you go. There's the part number for the bottom, part number for the top. This aftermarket radiator, the cheap. This was like 140 bucks. I was able to hook the coolant line in to the radiator. Rather there at the beginning I told y'all about splicing and putting that piece in. This radiator had this little hole right here that I was able to run the coolant line to for the heads, the coolant crossover. Just obviously you got to make sure your radiator stays full past that, because obviously that's where it gets the water. I ran the transmission lines down there, those two. I ran them through the frame and then under in there and then up to the it's kind of hard to see. The transmission cooler sitting right there. The sunlight and everything, you can't really see. Oh, you can kind of see the lines. So we got that in. The fuel filter. Fuel filter is about right here on the. It's about right here on the frame on the inside. Fuel pump is about right here. Of course, I got the bed off and the fuel pump. Got to the fuel pump, and these fuel pumps are right under the corner of the cab. So I had to unhook the brace for the fuel tank and kind of push it down to get enough room to get the old fuel pump out and the new one in. That's really it. There was nothing. Oh, the shift linkage. Oh, that I'm gonna need. Let's see if I can get under there. Oh, it's so low. Oh no. So another reason why I don't think these. Well, I guess they kind of didn't have it in mind that the people would be using the stock shift linkage. So you can kind of. So there's the stock shift linkage. All I did was you take the U bracket that connects to the shifter rod, and I just kind of took it to on my vice grip, or not my vice grip, my bench grip, whatever you want to call it, and I squeezed the two ends together to kind of sandwich them. And then because the angle is the rod is at an angle, it does the end of the rod where it goes through the holes, it doesn't go straight down, it kind of angles in. So I just squished that U-shaped piece that the rod goes through and squeezed the ends closer together, and the rod slides right on in. I didn't mess with any of that like I've seen videos, but the issue is right here. Oh, that's the O2 sensor hole, and you can obviously see that's right above it. So the sensor obviously isn't going to go in straight up and down. I sent the guy a link. There's a 90-degree adapter that you can put in that hole, and then the O2 sensor will screw in from the side rather than the top. I got there was nothing really to the cross member, just kind of bolted in. The engine does go an inch backwards, so your drive shaft, your stock drive shaft, isn't going to go back in because it's going to be an inch back, so it's going to be an inch too long. But that's how it goes with long tube headers. The engine has to be an inch backwards for these to fit, is where you can obviously tell you're not going to be able to come an inch forward. So shorties, I'm pretty sure if you run shorty headers, you have the space to go forward and backward, but long tubes, you have no option but to go back. Sorry for the videoing, it's not the best. I've had the truck up on jack stands. That made it a lot easier to show what was going on underneath. That's it. This swap is done. Oh, let's hear it run real quick. Let's scare my dogs. Hey, let's go inside. It is hot out here. What's up, Zoe? Oh, and Bear. Let's go inside. It's hot. Go. This is loud, so I'll scare the dogs, especially being right next to it. So it idles fine, but you know, you'll see it fall flat on its face. Sounds good though. Well, and also with that O2 sensor not hooked up, it's not gonna run, it's not gonna idle the best either. That was the first time I was able to rev it and it didn't fall on its face. That's it. The guy's gonna have to. My whole thing with doing these swaps is I'm just the guy that gets them in and gets them running. Exhaust and drive shafts and tuning and all that stuff. Drive shaft, I can throw it in real quick. It's not hard to do. I don't charge extra for that. But obviously tuning I don't do. Exhaust systems I don't do unless you bring me one. I can throw it on for a little extra. But my whole thing is just getting them in and running. Hopefully this guy can get the tuning issue figured out. It sucks that he already paid $300. So we'll just I'll keep in touch with him and kind of see how it goes. Maybe at some point he'll bring it back to me for more work and we'll see it again. But this is the final episode, if you want to call it, final video for this 85 C10, 86, 87, not sure what year it is, it's one of them. The next swap I do will be one of those. This one's already swapped, but this guy brought it to me. He lives about an hour away in Austin. He brought it to me. It wasn't running, or it stopped running one day when he took it to the parts store and he couldn't figure it out. He changed the crank sensor and the cam position sensor and it still wouldn't run. He brought it to me and I knew it wasn't getting spark. I could just tell right off the bat. And yeah. So this is why you bring me your swap before you attempt it yourself. I'm all for attempting it yourself, just don't bring it to a feller like this, because this is what I got to clean up for him. This doesn't have anything to do with it not running, but yeah, don't be that guy. Or kind of be that guy and then pay me so I can make some money to clean it up. But anyways, the next swap I do in about a week or two is going to be one of these OBS's. It's getting a LQ4 with a small cam and a 4L65. But as far as the C10, that's it. So don't like, don't comment, don't share, don't follow. Because if you follow, then more people might follow. And then I have to make more videos. And to be honest with you, this ain't my thing. But hopefully it helps you out. I'm just messing with you. Follow if you want. Got a whole 12 people that might actually care about this junk. Or at least the junk I do. This isn't junk compared to that. Surprise, had to come right back. I literally was finishing off the video and my phone died because it was too hot. Ridiculous. Anyways, I finished out saying my Kudu was junk. That's not junk compared to my typical junk. Don't like, don't subscribe. Not sure if I caught that in the last video. Because if you do, then I'll have to make more videos and then it means more work in the Texas sun. But do what you want. If you do, I appreciate it. Also, if you got tips and tricks for something like this that I didn't know about, I didn't mention, put it down there. Let me know. I'm always looking to get more educated. But yeah, just wanted to finish this video off. I'll see you all in the next one.